Okay, so we're going to jump into a round of If You Only Knew, sort of like a rapid-fire thing. Your first car.
Got it. 81 Toyota Corolla hatchback.
Nice.
Yeah. Fully rusted.
Yeah. My first was a rusted-out Camry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a rusted-out Camry after the Corolla.
Yeah. Your favorite artist?
All time?
All time.
Led Zeppelin.
Nice, really.
Yeah.
That's cool. Favorite overall genre of music?
Classic rock. Classic rock, yeah. That's like the one that, I mean, I kind of listen to everything, and I enjoy listening to everything, and but that's the one it's my go-to every time.
Ever think of doing a 98 Degrees metal album?
No, that hasn't come up in our creative meetings, Tom. I'm
That
not
might
sure.
be cool, just throwing it out there.
Could be onto something.
Yeah. Something you're binge watching right now?
Ooh, Yellowstone.
Okay, what's that show? I don't know that show.
It's Kevin Costner and Cole Hauser, and it's like takes place in Montana. You know, it's kind of this old ranching family, and
oh, nice. Like Dancing with Wolves, the
series. A little bit, yeah. Like it's Taylor Sheridan, guy who wrote Wind River, and so it has a lot of the Native American kind of conflicts and issues, and it's pretty great. But I'm a big Costner fan, and he kills it, and yeah, it's just a great show.
3 things you would bring with you to a desert island?
Gosh, should probably bring my wife.
Yeah. Good answer.
A keg of Miller Lite and the biggest bag of Schneider's sourdough pretzels I could find.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
It'll get me through a week at least.
Yeah. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
There you go.
The biggest risk you've ever taken?
Ooh. Well, at the time, and maybe even now in hindsight, I think maybe like leaving college, getting in a beat-up 85 LeBaron convertible and driving across the country to start a band. And, you know, you can always go back to school, you can always go home, but at the time it felt like, man, this is going to be a life-changing moment. And thankfully it turned out, to be that, and 98 Degrees kind of came from that. But that's probably the biggest.
Yeah, just picking up and
yeah,
going to Hollywood.
It's not knowing what to expect, just, getting in the car and driving and going for it.
Those LeBarons were pretty cool, too. They're convertibles.
Spoked hubcaps.
The convertible.
Yeah, well, that thing got me through. I delivered Chinese food here in the Burbank area, and that LeBaron,
put the top down.
Through some hard times,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proudest accomplishment?
Ooh, my kids, my family. Yeah, I mean, you think you're doing something in life, and then you have kids, and you realize it hasn't really meant much until that moment. So they're definitely my pride.
Yeah, something you think that you would advise somebody like me to do?
You know what? It's I'll be crazy if I said it's for everybody, but I've always been the guy that grew up wanting to have a family, and it exceeded every expectation I ever had in my mind. So yeah, it's
gotta get on it.
It's awesome.
A luxury you can't live without?
Sports? Is that a luxury? I'm a big sports guy, and it's hard for me to imagine going through life without sports.
What's your team?
Sadly, I'm from Cincinnati, so they're all terrible. The Reds, the Bengals. But yeah, I went to USC, so I'm a big USC football fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, just sports in general, I can't imagine.
Best advice you've ever received?
You know what? I might give my brother credit for this one. He had kids first, so I kind of said, hey, about to have my first, give me some advice. And he said, you know what? The best advice I could give you is don't take other people's advice when it comes to your kids, because every kid is different, every situation is different, every parenting scenario is different. So you got to kind of figure it out for yourself. And he was right. And the other advice he said is get a night nurse.
Yeah.
And that was also very sound advice. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that when they wake up screaming,
so you can get some sleep as a new father.
That's a good idea. Most underrated artist.
Most underrated artist. All time?
Or right now, whatever.
One of my favorite artists of all time, and I don't want to say she's underrated because I think a lot of people love her as much as I do, but Sade.
Oh, yeah.
But unless you've ever been to a Sade concert, and it's one of the more, to me, it's one of the more like mesmerizing experiences. She's totally captivating and doesn't do much. It's just all very simple, but she's got like this presence about her, this grace that's pretty it's pretty awesome. So
Smooth operator.
smooth. She's a smooth operator.
Yeah. A musician from history you'd like to take to lunch?
I'll go back to Robert Plant. Between the success of Zeppelin and now his solo success and the stuff he's doing in the more like folk area now, and he's had such an incredible career and still can sing like nobody's business. And it's interesting. I had a chance once to do a photo shoot with the photographer, their tour photographer, and he was telling me story after story, and he was part of writing Almost Famous based on them, and that just was a small taste of like what that life had to be like. And so a chance to actually hear it from Robert Plant, I think, would be a pretty incredible lunch. Long lunch, but a good lunch.
Who do you think would be the most surprising artist that you listen to?
I'm big on classical.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's a weird thing. I grew up, my dad every Sunday morning would play classical music in the house, in the car. It was the only day of the week we listened to classical, but for whatever reason now, on Sunday mornings I'll wake up and I'll throw on Tchaikovsky, Pandora radio, and off I go. So it's to me it's like a very kind of relaxing way to.
So that's Tchaikovsky is what you're rocking these days?
Well, it's also if you're on a plane and you want to kind of drift off on a nice little red eye, you throw some Tchaikovsky on there, a little Swan Lake, and off
Nice.
you go. Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea. That sounds very relaxing.
It's very relaxing.
Yeah.
Very relaxing.
I actually woke up this morning while I was making coffee. I told Alexa, play 98 Degrees, and I was rocking out to 98 Degrees.
Change your life?
Yeah, it was good.
Coffee never tasted better, right?
It was great. And it was actually very pleasant.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I normally listen to the news in the morning, which is not pleasant.
No.
And it really was actually a nice morning.
Yeah. A little Una Noche from 98 Degrees will top the
It was
news
good.
any day.
Very positive music.
You should also know we got our first ever gold record in Canada. So Canada's really where we broke.
Oh, that's cool.
As a Canadian, you can appreciate that.
Absolutely. Go Canada. We've got good taste up there. Something we should be paying more attention to.
Each other, maybe is the cop-out answer, but I mean, I think that we're also.
I think it's a great answer. Yeah.
We're also consumed in our own stuff that maybe if we paid a little more attention to each other and looked out a little bit more, more for each other, we'd be in a better place than we are.
It's so polarized right now.
Very polarized, yeah.
Wasn't like that back in the 90s.
Which again is why I think people enjoy going back to those times. It just felt like happier times.
Never miss a beat. Subscribe to Larry King now and watch new episodes every day.